Earth just hit the brakes. Imagine the unimaginable. Our planet, which has been spinning non-stop for billions of years, suddenly decides to come to a screeching halt. It's like slamming the brakes on a car going at full speed. The consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic. Okay folks, picture this. Earth decides to take a break from its 24/7 spinning routine. It's not just a minor pause, it's a complete stop. The very idea is mind-boggling, isn't it? But let's dive deeper into what would actually happen. Just a quick pause, right? Wrong. The immediate effects would be felt worldwide, and they would be anything but subtle. The sudden stop would unleash forces that are beyond our everyday experience. First things first, you better hold on tight because everything not nailed down is going for a ride. Imagine the chaos. People, cars, buildings, and even the smallest objects would be flung into the air. The sheer force would be enough to lift entire structures off the ground. We're talking buildings, cars, your pet goldfish, everything. The inertia would cause everything to continue moving at the same speed the Earth was spinning before it stopped. It's like being on a merry-go-round that suddenly stops. You keep moving forward. Why? Because of inertia, my friends. Inertia is the property of matter that keeps it moving in a straight line unless acted upon by an external force. So, when Earth stops, everything on its surface keeps moving at the same speed and direction it was before. You see, Earth spins pretty fast, about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. That's faster than a commercial jet. So, when it stops, everything keeps moving, eastward, to be precise. The momentum would carry everything in that direction. So, when it stops, everything keeps moving, eastward, to be precise. Imagine a sudden planet-wide game of throw everything eastward. The force would be so immense that it would be like a global catapult, hurling everything in its path. Imagine a sudden planet-wide game of throw everything eastward. The sheer scale of the destruction would be unimaginable. Entire cities could be leveled, and the landscape would be unrecognizable. Not exactly a fun fairground ride, but wait, there's more. The effects of Earth's sudden stop wouldn't just be limited to the surface. The atmosphere would also be thrown into chaos, with winds reaching unimaginable speeds. Remember that slight bulge around Earth's middle? The one that gives us that lovely equatorial waistline? That's caused by centrifugal force, the same force that pins you to the wall on a spinning carnival ride. That's caused by centrifugal force, the same force that pins you to the wall on a spinning carnival ride. Without the spinning, that bulge would disappear, and the shape of the Earth would change. Well, no more spinning, no more bulge. The Earth would become more spherical, and this change in shape would have profound effects on the planet's geography and climate. Gravity gets a bit of a power trip, especially at the equator. With the centrifugal force gone, gravity would have a stronger pull, making everything feel heavier. So, yeah, you might feel a little heavier, just a tad. The increase in gravity would make everyday tasks more challenging, and the overall impact on life as we know it would be profound. So next time you think about the Earth stopping, remember, it's not just a simple pause, it's a complete game changer. Remember those carefree days of 24-hour rotations with their neat little cycles of day and night? Yeah, those are gone. The Earth has stopped spinning and everything we once took for granted has been turned upside down. Imagine waking up to a world where the concept of a day or night is stretched out over 6 long months. It's a reality that defies our very understanding of time and nature. See, with Earth on permanent pause, one side gets to hog all the sunlight. For 6 months straight. Talk about a sunburn. The relentless sun beats down without mercy, turning the landscape into a parched wasteland. Rivers dry up and lakes evaporate, leaving behind cracked earth and desolation. The heat is unbearable, and the air shimmers with the intensity of the sun's rays. It's like living in an oven, with no escape from the relentless heat. Meanwhile, the other half of the planet is plunged into perpetual darkness. Think 6 months of winter, but way, way worse. The darkness is absolute, swallowing everything in an inky black void. Temperatures plummet, and the cold seeps into every corner of existence. It's a frozen wasteland, where the sun never rises, and the stars are the only source of light. The silence is eerie, broken only by the howling winds that sweep across the frozen landscape. Plants wither, animals go haywire, and let's not even talk about what happens to our sleep schedules. The natural rhythms of life are thrown into chaos. Plants, deprived of the sun's nurturing light, shrivel and die. Animals, confused by the endless day or night, struggle to adapt. Nocturnal creatures are forced to navigate a world of perpetual daylight, while diurnal animals are plunged into an unending night. And humans? Our bodies are not designed for such extremes. Sleep becomes a distant memory, and our mental and physical health deteriorates rapidly. And it's not just the length of day and night that's messed up, it's the temperatures too. The contrast between the two sides of the planet is stark and unforgiving. On one side, the sun's unrelenting heat turns the environment into a scorching desert, where temperatures soar to unimaginable heights. On the other side, the absence of the sun's warmth creates a frozen tundra, where the cold is so intense that it feels like the very air is solidifying. The sun-baked side turns into a scorching desert, while the dark side freezes solid. The extremes are beyond anything we've ever experienced. The desert side is a barren, lifeless expanse, where the ground is too hot to touch, and the air is thick with dust and heat. The frozen side is a desolate, icy wasteland, where the cold is so severe that it can freeze flesh in minutes. Survival in either of these extremes is a constant battle against the elements. Imagine trying to order a pizza delivery between those two extremes. It's a logistical nightmare. Delivery drivers would need to be equipped with both heat-resistant and cold-resistant gear, and the journey would be fraught with peril. The simple act of getting a hot meal becomes an epic quest, navigating through a world divided by extreme temperatures and endless days or nights. It's a world where the familiar comforts of home are replaced by the harsh realities of a planet that has stopped spinning. Okay, hold on to your hats because things are about to get really breezy. Remember how Earth's spin influences everything? Well, that includes the weather. Without the Coriolis effect, which normally keeps winds in check, we're talking about winds of unimaginable speeds, think thousands of miles per hour. These aren't your grandma's gentle summer breezes, folks. We're talking hypercanes, superstorms, and atmospheric mayhem that would make a tornado look like a dust devil. Imagine trying to fly a kite in that. And it's not just the wind itself. These megastorms would pick up moisture from the superheated oceans and dump them as torrential rain, causing floods unlike anything we've ever seen. Remember those geography lessons about Earth's oceans? Well, forget everything you learned. You see, centrifugal force isn't just messing with our waistlines. It's also what keeps the oceans in place. No spinning, no centrifugal force, and those oceans? They're going on a road trip. Where are they going, you ask? Well, with gravity stronger at the poles, the water sloshes over and sets up shop there. We're not just talking a little rise in sea level, folks. We're talking entire continents swallowed by water while a new massive landmass emerges around the equator. Talk about beachfront property. We all know climate change is a big deal, right? Well, imagine taking all those scary climate models and cranking them up to 11. That's what happens when Earth pulls the plug on its rotation. The extreme temperature differences between the day and night sides create a recipe for climate chaos. We're talking super droughts, mega storms, and ice ages all rolled into one. And let's not forget about the atmosphere. Without Earth's spin to create a magnetic field, we're exposed to all sorts of nasty stuff from space, like solar flares and cosmic radiation. Think of it as getting a sunburn, but on a planetary scale. New real estate, equatorial deserts, and polar beaches. So the oceans have relocated, the climate's gone haywire, but hey, at least we have some new real estate to explore, right? Well, not so fast. The equator, once a tropical paradise, is now a vast, scorching desert. Think Sahara Desert, but bigger, hotter, and with a lot less sunscreen available. And those polar regions? They might be watery, but trust me, you won't want to pack your swimsuit. The constant darkness and freezing temperatures make them about as hospitable as, well, the dark side of the moon. Life finds a way, or does it? The struggle for survival. Life on Earth is pretty resilient. We've survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, and even disco music. But could anything survive an Earth that stopped spinning? Well, some hardy creatures might adapt to the extreme conditions. Cockroaches, for example, are notoriously tough. But for most species, including us humans, it would be a struggle for survival. Imagine trying to grow crops with 6 months of darkness, or build shelters that can withstand constant hypercanes. It wouldn't be easy. So should we be worried? It's a question that might have crossed your mind, especially with all the talk about catastrophic events and doomsday scenarios. But let's take a step back and really think about it. Spoiler alert. Nah, we're good. Seriously, there's no need to panic. The world isn't ending anytime soon, and here's why. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Neil, you've scared the living daylights out of me, but let's break it down. The idea of Earth suddenly stopping its spin is more science fiction than science fact. Should I start building an underground bunker? Should I be stocking up on canned goods and water? The short answer is no. There's no need to go to such extremes. Well, here's the good news. The chances of Earth suddenly stopping its spin are about as likely as finding a unicorn riding a roller coaster on Mars. It's just not going to happen. The laws of physics just don't work that way. Our planet's rotation is governed by fundamental principles that are incredibly stable and reliable. It would take an unimaginable amount of energy to stop Earth's rotation. We're talking asteroid impact on a scale that would make the dinosaurs look like a minor inconvenience. And even then, the chances are astronomically low. So, sleep tight, my friends. There's no need to lose sleep over something that's not going to happen. The Earth is a resilient and stable planet. The Earth is going to keep spinning, at least for the foreseeable future. So, let's focus on the things we can control and enjoy the ride on this beautiful spinning planet of ours. The Earth without a spin, a final thought. Thinking about what would happen if Earth stopped spinning might seem like a pointless exercise in apocalyptic imagination. But it's actually a fascinating thought experiment that helps us appreciate the delicate balance of our planet. It reminds us that Earth is not just a hunk of rock we live on, it's a dynamic, constantly moving system, and we're all just along for the ride. So, buckle up, enjoy the view, and maybe give a little thanks to the laws of physics that keep our planet spinning.